मोशन। इसके पहले हम लोगों ने देख लिया प्रूडेंस लॉ को, तो देख लेते हैं केपलर लॉ क्या है। The Danish astronomer Kepler, based on the records of lifelong observations by astronomer, enunciated three laws of planetary motion where below. तीन लॉ उन्होंने दिया केपलर ने, क्या है? First law, every planet moves in an elliptic orbit with the sun situated at one of the foci. एक एलिप्स में दो फोकस होते हैं, तो जो प्लैनेट है उसकी एलिप्टिक ऑर्बिट में मूव करता है और सन उन दोनों फोकस में से किसी एक को। Second, the radius vector drawn from the sun to a planet keeps out equal areas in equal time. यानी कि सन से प्लैनेट को जोड़ दे एक लाइन, तो उससे जो रेडियस वेक्टर बना वो इक्वल टाइम में इक्वल एरिया को बनाता है। और in other words, as a planet moves in its orbit, the line joining the sun to the planet is at a constant rate. And third, the squares of the periodic times of the various planets are proportional to the cubes of their mean distances from the sun. That is the semi-major axis of their orbits. यानी कि जो सन के चारों तरफ कोई प्लैनेट मूव कर रहा है, तो उसका जो टाइम है घूमने का पीरियोडिक टाइम, वो प्रोपोर्शनल होगा ए क्यूब की, जहाँ ए क्या हो गया, उसका सेमी मेजर एक्सिस हो गया उसके ऑर्बिट का। Now the rate at which the radius vector to a moving particle sweeps out area about the pole is 1/2 r square theta, हम लोग जानते हैं। Hence from the second law above, it follows for the motion of every planet around the sun, r square theta dot is equal to constant. यानी कि ये हमारा constant, and hence the cross radial acceleration 1/r d/over dt r square theta dot will be 0. Must be radial. That is, the force under which it moves is directed towards the sun. Again, by the first law above, since the orbit is an ellipse with the sun at a focus and the force is always directed to that point, जो force हमेशा focus की ओर directed है, the magnitude of the force per unit mass therefore is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Means F is proportional to 1/r square. Thus, from the first two laws of Kepler, we derive that every planet is attracted towards the sun with a force which is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Distance के square से inversely proportional है, यानी proportional 1/r square. अब देखिए elliptic orbits of planets. In an elliptic orbit of a planet, we note that mu by r square being the force per unit mass at a distance r from the sun. So h square is equal to mu into L, so it is mu into b square by a, or it is mu into a 1 minus e square, because b square is a square into 1 minus e square. तो ये से कैंसिल हो जाएगा. Where small l is the lattice rectum, so make lattice rectum AB the same axis and E the eccentricity of the elliptic orbit. Secondly, as the orbit is a central orbit, if V be the velocity at any point on the orbit at a distance r, P denoting the perpendicular distance from the sun to the tangential direction of motion, then V into P equal to h, so that V square will be h square by P square, or it is equal to h square by L into L by P square, so it is mu into 2 by r minus 1 by a. ये हम लोग जान रहे हैं, this is from the pedal equation of the ellipse which focus as pole. Lastly, if capital T be the periodic time of a planet in elliptic orbit around the sun, sun के चारों ओर उसको time t लग रहा है, since h is twice the rate of description of area around the sun by the radius vector from the sun to the planet, the whole elliptic area being traced out in the time t. Total area हम time t में trace कर ले रहे हैं. It means h will be 2 by ab by capital T. In fact, it is h by 2 is equal to pi by a capital T. तो 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे और कैपिटल T will be 2 pi ab by h, means 2 pi ab by h की वैल्यू रख दें root mu l, so it is 2 pi ab by root mu b square by a, so it is 2 pi under root mu into a to the power 3 by 2, where small a is the semi major axis of the orbit. तो नेक्स्ट पेज में हाँ, तो यहाँ से हमको मिल जाएगा कि t इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू, अगर t स्क्वायर करेंगे तो t स्क्वायर इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू a क्यूब. यही हमारा थर्ड लॉ था केपलर्स का. इसके बाद है न्यूटन्स यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन. एज ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड from Kepler's first two laws of planetary motion, applying dynamical laws, it follows that every planet is attracted towards the sun, with a force which is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. If mu by r square be the force per unit mass of a planet at a distance r, a the same major axis of its elliptic orbit, and t its periodic orbit, then t is equal to 2 pi by under root mu into 8 power 3 by 2, or t square by a cube will be 4 pi square by mu. Also by Kepler's third law, t square by a square is constant for all planets, hence mu is a constant for all planets. As mu by r square is the force per unit mass of a planet, it follows that the attraction of the sun on different planets are directly proportional to the masses of those planets. These laws of planetary motion of Kepler suggested to Newton his universal law of gravitation. यानी कि केपलर के लॉ से न्यूटन को मिला इंस्पिरेशन ताकि अपना वो universal law of gravitation दिया, which he verified from the motions of other heavenly bodies such as satellites, etc. And finally stated as follows. देखो, parabolic paths of comets. Observations of the motions of comets when they move around the sun have revealed that their orbits are very nearly parabola. यानी कि कॉमेट जो सन के चारों ओर मूव करता है उसका जो ऑर्बिट है वो क्या है, पैराबोला टाइप का है, with the sun situated at the focus, और सन पैराबोला के फोकस पर है. And the radius vector from the sun to the comet traces out areas at a constant rate. It follows from previous articles that comets are also attracted to the sun with a force varying inversely as the square of the distance. Also, if mu by r square be the force per unit mass, the velocity v at a distance r is given by v square by 2 mu by r. ये देख चुके हैं. अब there is a modification of Kepler's third law. Let capital M and small m be the masses of the sun and a planet. R be the distance between them at any instant. The force of attraction between them is gamma into capital M small m by r square. This is by Newton's universal law of gravitation. ये उनके बीच में force हो गया. The planet is attracted towards the sun with this force. Planet sun की ओर जा रहा है इस force से, attracted है, and simultaneously the sun is also attracted towards the planet with the same force. The acceleration of the planet towards the sun is thus gamma capital M by small r square, and the acceleration of the sun towards the planet is gamma small m by r square. तो sun का जो acceleration है planet की ओर this one, और planet का acceleration sun की ओर ये है. Thus, strictly speaking, the relative acceleration of the planet towards the sun is gamma capital M by small m by r square. Relative acceleration क्या हो जाएगा, ये प्लस हो जाएगा, because these two accelerations are opposite to each other. Thus, the orbit of the planet relative to the sun is an ellipse with the sun at a focus, and if small a be the semi-major axis of this ellipse, we write gamma capital M by plus small m is equal to mu. The periodic time of the planet around the sun will be given by capital T is equal to 2 pi by root mu 8 power 3 by 2, और 2 pi by under root mu की वैल्यू रखिए gamma capital M plus small m into 8 power 3 by 2. This is a modification. Similarly, the periodic time of another planet whose mass is m dash and relative orbit around the sun is an ellipse of semi-major axis a dash is given by T dash will be 2 pi under root gamma m plus m dash into a dash to the power 3 by 2. Now इनको compare करेंगे T square by T dash square, so it will be m plus m dash by capital M plus m into a cube by a dash cube. Thus Kepler's third law, T square by T dash cube is equal to a cube by a dash cube is not strictly true and holds only if m is equal to m dash. अगर m is equal to m dash है तब केपलर का थर्ड लॉ यहाँ होल्ड करता है. Else small m and small m dash are both negligibly small compared to m capital M. अगर दोनों मासेस एक दूसरे के लगभग बराबर है तब केपलर थर्ड लॉ होल्ड करता है. As the masses of the planets are not equal, लेकिन प्लैनेट के मासेस आर इक्वल नहीं है, they must be very small compared to the mass of the sun. सन के मास के कंपैरिजन में वे बहुत कम होते हैं, which is really the case. ये ऐसा होता भी है, इसीलिए हम लोग इसको ले लेते हैं कि ट्रू है. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है एक्यूरेट वैल्यू ऑफ म्यू निकाला गया, इसको भी देख लें तो जल्दी से हो जाएगा। रिलेटिव मोशन ऑफ द प्लैनेट अबाउट द सन, let masses of the sun and planet be capital S and capital P respectively. This capital is sun, is small capital P is planet, and let gamma be the gravitational constant. The mutual attraction A between the sun and the planet at any distance, when R is the distance between them, is given by A is equal to gamma into S into P by R square. ये हम लोग देख रहे हैं न्यूटन्स यूनिवर्सल लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन से। If alpha is the acceleration of the planet towards the sun, then alpha will be A by P, means gamma into S by R square from this equation. Also, beta is the acceleration of the sun S towards the planet. Then we have beta will be capital A by S, this is gamma into capital P by R square. Hence, the acceleration of the planet relative to the sun is equal to actual acceleration of planet P minus actual acceleration of sun S in the direction of acceleration of planet. So it is alpha minus beta, means it will be alpha plus beta. So it is gamma S plus P by R square, so it is mu by R square. Where mu is gamma S. And the periodic time T will be capital T is equal to 2 pi under root mu 8.3 by 2, means 2 pi by under root mu का वैल्यू रख दीजिए गामा S plus P into 8.3 by 2. गामा S plus P सेम है जैसे गामा कैपिटल M plus स्मॉल m पीछे था। Let T1 be the periodic time of another planet of mass P1 and A1 be the same as the axis of its orbit. Then similarly, capital T1 will be 2 pi by under root gamma S plus 3 into A1 to the power 3 by 2. और यहाँ से मिल जाएगा हमको T by T1 will be under root S plus T1 by S plus T 8.3 by 2 by 1 to the power 3 by 2. So S plus P by S plus T1 into T square by T1 square will be A cube by A1. Similarly, if capital D is the mean distance, means distance between the centers of the planet from that of the sun, then capital T will be 2 pi under root gamma S plus P d to the power 3 by 2. Similarly, if a planet of mass P has a satellite of mass small p, यानी कि planet का भी एक satellite है, whose mean distance from planet is small d, then the periodic of small t of the satellite is given by small t equal to pi by under root gamma capital P small p into d to the power 3 by 2. यहाँ सैटेलाइट प्लेनेट के चारों ओर मूव कर रहा है और इधर प्लेनेट मूव कर रहा है सन के साथ। Therefore, capital S plus P divided by capital P plus small p, P capital square by small t square is equal to capital D cube by small t. तो ये रिजल्ट भी आपको देखना है। इसके बाद एक है एलिप्स के बारे में एक रिजल्ट है, इसको हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में करेंगे और एक एग्जांपल कर लेंगे। इसके बाद सेंट्रल ऑर्बिट का पोर्शन हमारा खत्म है, फिर आ जाएंगे उधर यूनिट 1 में कुछ वर्चुअल वर्क है, उसको देखना है। अगर तुम लोगों को कोई क्वेरी है इधर तो क्वेरी मुझे पूछो और इनका स्क्रीनशॉट